it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me again today and welcome to another week. So this is a card that I have made for a team colour challenge. The colours were Flirty Flamingo, Night of Navy and Pool Party. And I've actually made this for my niece. Fingers crossed she's not watching this, otherwise it's a bit of a spoiler. So, as I haven't actually posted it until the day that you're going to see this video. Anyhow, I thought it was an appropriate colour scheme for her because as a teenager, she was really into Jack Wills, which is a brand in the UK. I mean, if you're not in the UK, you wouldn't necessarily know that. I'm not convinced they're still around, actually. But anyway, their colours were navy and pink. So I thought it would be something for her to, you know, have a bit of a memory of. She's just graduated from her master's degree. So we're all incredibly proud of her, particularly as her degree was in biological sciences and was from UCL, which is one of the toughest subjects in one of the toughest universities in the country. So it's quite a big deal. Anyway, I thought I would recreate the basic idea of this card, which uses the So Much Happy bundle, which is in the annual catalogue. It's got some lovely dies and great stamp set, and is perfect for all sorts of occasions. So I thought I would recreate it, but this time I'm going to be using designer series paper for the front of my card. So it's a kind of fingers crossed this is going to work, but we'll see. So I'm going to be using the Artistry Blooms designer series paper, again from the annual catalogue, and I've chosen this sheet, which is all the blues on one side and this lovely kind of ombre effect on the wrong side. Now the trick to this, of course, is going to be to actually stick the paper to the card so that when it's die cut it doesn't flip up. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got some Stampin' Seal. I might need to start a new reel as we do this, but let's give it a go. I'm going to bring in a silicone mat so that I've just got something underneath my card. This is just a half sheet of thick Whisper White, and I've just folded it at the top because that is how I like to fold my paper. So I'm going to run Stampin' Seal right the way around the edge of this card. Now normally I wouldn't use this much on a card, but I mean you don't normally need this much on a card is kind of what I mean. But because I am desperate for it not to peel at the edges, and there are more edges than there would normally be, I'm going to make an exception this time. So let's go across the top. What I might do is also run some adhesive on the top of my paper. Now I'm going to have to sort of gauge where I think my die cut's going to be, because I want to make sure I've got a reasonable amount of adhesive there. So I'm thinking, let's find a ruler. It was roughly 1.5 inches up from the side on the previous one, which is kind of about right. So let's go at about the same height, and I'm going to do a few, and then from the top it's about 3¼ inches down. So that's about 3¼ inches. So again, I'm going to add a reasonable amount there. And then take my paper. I'm going to just make sure I've got some adhesive in this corner here. The others look as if I'm pretty okay. So it's this corner at the top here that I want to make sure I've got a good covering on. Yeah, Mum. As I say, I'm getting really close to the end of that refill. That's the word I'm looking for. Right, so I will actually close my card up again and just just line it up with one edge, and then the rest should fall into place. So I'm going to give that a really good press. And then with my snips, here we go, I'm going to just trim off what I don't need. And I'm going to do that from the back. Then I can use the edge of the card as a something to push the blade against. So I'm pushing this bit of the blade against the edge of the card, and that helps to get a nice straight cut. We've got a really funny day here in Oxfordshire. It started the day kind of damp and muggy, by which I mean it wasn't raining, it was just damp from having been raining yesterday, and really close and airless. And now it's trying to brighten up, although the forecast is for rain, so I'm really confused. Anyway, so there's our card front. So the next thing I'm going to do is run that through my die cutter with the happy stamp. So let me grab the happy stamp. And as I say, we're about 1.5 inches up from the bottom. Now these are 1/4 inch squares, so all I've got to do is 1.5 inches is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there. So if I line that across there, and then try and get it reasonably square within the space this way. Oh, except if it was 1.5 inches, it would be that piece I'm lining up, wouldn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep. So it's there, and about there. So I'm looking at how much of this I've got sticking out at the side. So I now need a little bit of washi tape. So I'm going to stick this to this bit of the paper, because it doesn't matter, because that is going to be cut away. So even if my washi tape decides it's going to stick to the paper, it's okay. So let me bring in my nice new cut and emboss, which I am loving. So flip the sides down, bring in my plates, and because this is a thin die, I need my base plate, so my 1 plate, my 2 shim, a 3 cutting plate, and then a top cutting plate for my sandwich. And I'm going to pop this through, and I'm going to put it through at a slight angle. Now, the gap here is slightly wider than this, so if I bring this all the way across, can you see? No, you can't. You should be able to see there's a gap here. So long as I've got the die on the cutting plate, I should have space, and by having this piece out here just helps keep everything nice and neat. Gives me a better angle. The reason I'm doing the angle, asking a die cutter to cut straight across a straight cut, not a happy die cutter. It's a bit like when you're driving and you hit a sleeping policeman too fast. It just, you know, not a great idea. I'm just going backwards and forwards a couple of times just to make sure I get a really good cut. And I'm going to need this again, so I will take that out and that out, and then just flip up the sides for the moment. Do remember not to get your fingers caught when you snap it, because that's going to hurt. Right, so we've got this lovely pieces die cut. Let's pop out the bits. Now, I'm not too worried if this bit's not cut perfectly, because I'm actually going to die cut the happy again and stick it on top, which is what I did with this. Can you see that I've got that thick piece there? So let me just get rid of these bits, and I'm just going to then go and turn off the sound on my laptop, because I've just had an alert which is going to annoy me. it's fine. It's something that's going to go away, so that's fine. Turn off my volume. I wondered if it was someone messaging me, and it's not. Well, it is, but it's not something that needs to be replied to, or certainly not at the moment. Right, now, let me grab my paper, because what I want is to have this, obviously, in a different, I say obviously, I want it in a different colour, and I'm just thinking, do I want to go for the pink or the purple? I'm tempted to do that, because that still gives me a gentle ombre. Or I could go that way and have it a more obvious ombre. Ooh, decisions. Or I could, of course, go that way. Isn't life difficult sometimes? I think, I'm thinking that way. Let me have a, oh, I know. I've just had a thought. I have just had a thought. You can tell I planned this, can't you? Not. We've got this. So I think I might actually go glimmer paper. So I could pick up, yes, I could do it in, if I use this piece here, it's sort of the same colour. I wonder if I can do it with that bit that I've already got as a short piece, or if that's going to be too yellow. I think it's going to be too, yes, that's too yellow. So I'm going to use this piece here. So let me pop this away. And I think rather than popping it up, I'm going to keep it flat, because we're using the glitter rather than the solid. So the piece I want is this piece here. So I'm going to grab my mini chopper, and I'm going to chop off about an inch. So about yay much. And that I'm going to keep for something else. And this I need, I had a ruler at one point, there we are. I need at least an inch and a quarter, inch and a half. Inch and a quarter should do it. So inch and a quarter is that much. Might go a little bit extra, just to be on the safe side. So we'll take that piece, that we don't need, and I'm going to grab my adhesive sheets. Let's get rid of some of the mess that I seem to have created already. So these are our double-sided adhesive sheets. I love these. Cannot tell you how much I love these, but a lot would be the answer. So I can pop it on that piece there. So what I tend to do is peel back one of the bits. They come with 3 pieces of paper, so you don't have to peel the whole piece off. You can just peel off the bit you want, or start on a bit you want, and then I can add, I'm doing this in a very cack-handed way. Let's just fold that, and then that will keep that. So I want it to be slightly off the edge. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in my sticky scissors and just cut down that. Add that bit back over the top and just cut. And then I now have a piece of sticky back glitter paper. So just to make sure that is well stuck. There we go. And bring back in my Happy and my cut and emboss. the pieces down, grab my 1, 2 and first 3 plate, and I think I'm going to go, I want to go, another decision. I'm going to go with the pink at the top, but I'm going to go as far down into the yellow as I can. So, actually I don't need all of that, do I? I can go right the way up to the edge. So, like that. And again, I'm going at an angle. In fact, no, I'm going to leave it at that. Don't fiddle, as they say. Don't fiddle, don't touch, leave it alone. Oop, got a extra piece of paper there. Oop. I'm trying to work in a very, very confined space. With my lights and my camera, it doesn't give me a huge amount of room. Let's see, here we go. And again, I'm going to run this through a couple of times just because I'm going through glitter and adhesive sheet. That's perfect. So let's get rid of that. And peel this off, and there we have our happy, our H-A-P-P-Y, and we've got these extra bits. I will probably keep these because I can use them for something, and they are now sticky, so you never know what you can use these things for. But waste not, want not. Right, and we just need to get rid of the middle of the A. Okay, so then all I need to do is cut here to release my letters. And I'm just going to make sure I haven't got any funny little shapes at the bottom of these, because you can end up just with little bits. It's almost like it becomes a serif font, and this is a sans serif font, as in it doesn't have the curly bits. Oh good, I've got a wasp in the studio. Not a great fan of wasps. What I could of course do with this, actually, let's be logical. Let me be logical. Because what I can do is just line that up on the edge of my mini guillotine. Now I had someone ask me if you could buy the mini guillotine. It is available to demonstrators, but it's not, I'm afraid, available for customers. I think probably because we don't have a huge stock, so it would be a question of, and then where do you send them? You know, do you only have them in the US? Do you only have them in Europe? That sort of thing. Okay, so, oh, that's worked quite nicely. So we just take our sticky off the back and apply the letters, and I would concentrate, for lining up, I would concentrate on something like this line here or this line here rather than the top or the bottom, because then you know that it's going to be square everywhere else. But if you concentrate on the top or the bottom, it may not line up in the middle, if that makes sense. I'm concentrating. You can tell, can't I? Can't you? I stop talking when I concentrate. Clearly I can only do one thing at a time. I can either concentrate or I can talk, but apparently not both. Oh, as a quick reminder while I'm doing this, do remember to subscribe. That is in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, so just down here. And tomorrow I have got my Facebook Live over on my Facebook business page, and there's a link to that in the description bar below this video. So I'd love to have you join me for that. That's at 11 o'clock UK time, and that's 11 o'clock in the morning, obviously. I'm going to press that from the back, and there we go, very nice. Right, so I'm going to want a piece of something behind there, so I think I might go for this purple, so it really makes it jump out. Just going to give... Yep, no, I think we're going to go for the purple. So I'm going to just make a pencil mark. So yes, if you fancy, let's go up a wee bit. If you fancy some Facebook fun on tomorrow, it would be fantastic to have you join me. It's always a bit mad, but it would be great if you could join me. Oh, and subscribing, what I meant to say is that I thought that was 6 inches, clearly it's not. I'm aiming for 9,000 subscribers, and I'm getting very close. I've got about another 200 to go, and when I hit 9,000 there might be, I don't know, a giveaway, something like that. Something along those lines. So, yes. Just as an encouragement. And of course, if you are in the UK, if you need any products, I would love you to shop with me. It's kind of how I keep going. I mean, if I didn't, this is my business, so if you can help support my business, I would be very grateful. I've had some really lovely feedback about my customer support, or customer service I should say. So I have a customer rewards program, and I also send a little handmade card and gift to anyone who shops with me each month. So those go out kind of the end of the first week, beginning of the second week of the following month. If you shop with me, if you spend at least £45 in a month, you get to have some of my digital content for free, which is always good. Anything that's free is good. So yeah, there are lots of reasons to shop with me. Or of course the other option is to join my team. And you can join my team. Yep, you can join my team if you are in the UK, obviously, France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands. Great time to join if you want the cut and emboss, because you can pop that into your starter kit. Right, so. And there's still room for other stuff if you pop that in your starter kit. I'm actually going to pop this through the chopper, because then I'll get a nice straight edge. So I'm going to pop that, let me bring it down a wee bit, because then I can line the edge of my card up against the edge of my guillotine blade. There we go. And just chop and you get a nice clean edge. So yes, the joining kit is always the best deal. So it's a no-brainer really. If you're going to buy a reasonable number of things, get the starter kit, because then it's money in your pocket. Right, so I'm going to have so very happy to have you in my life, and I'm trying to think of what colour to go. Interesting. I want to go quite dark. I might go nicer than navy. Oh, I don't know. No, let's go blackberry bliss. let's go really dark, and at least then we're sticking with that sort of mauve colour. Oops, wasn't Blackberry Bliss. This is Blackberry Bliss. That's better. Right. This is going to be one of those, if I don't get it right, I'm going to have to think of how to cover it up moments. Right, because there is where the die cut is, there's a kind of ridge. So stamping into that is going to be quite interesting. Might have been, well, no, I couldn't have done it before because, yes! So very... perfect. Phew! Phew! And then I've got some of the sequins that go with the Artistry Blooms suite, and they are sequins that don't have holes, and I know some people do have a thing with sequins that have holes. I can't decide whether to go contrast or I think we'll go with these ones. Please don't ask me what colour they are because I have absolutely no idea. So I like my visual triangle. So I'll come there and then let's have a large one and pop that there. So quite a simple card, but not, if you see what I mean. So yeah, I mean it's a single layer, but it's a single layer with a difference. What I might be tempted to do is to cover that with a piece of Whisper White so that you don't have that piece of coloured paper staring at you. But yeah, so there we are. Two very different cards that are basically the same. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Gosh, this is a longer video than usual. There's a list of products below. There's also a link to my blog, which will have more photos of these on it. And as I say, if you don't already subscribe, it's in the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much for joining me. Maybe I will see you tomorrow on my Facebook Live. But wherever I see you next, thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye!